Coming up on Real Time this week, healthcare workers are being told not to report illegal late-term abortions to the police. A cancer patient in Canada has been granted assisted suicide within days after being failed by chemotherapy backlog. Thousands of pro-lifers march for life on Washington DC, and scandal ensues as British man dies alone at a cowboy euthanasia clinic in Switzerland. Good evening, welcome to Real Time. I'm your host, Catherine Mokler. The Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists is issuing guidance to its members stating that they should not report illegal late-term abortions to the police. The guidance informs healthcare workers not to call the police if a woman divulges that she sought to end her own pregnancy. SPUC has affirmed that reporting illegal activities is not about judgment, but rather about upholding the standards and regulations that govern medical practice. By discouraging healthcare workers from reporting violations, the RCOG risks undermining the public's trust in the medical profession and the legal system itself. A cancer patient in Canada has been granted assisted suicide within days after waiting 10 weeks to get through a chemotherapy backlog. Dan Quayle from British Columbia waited 10 weeks for cancer treatment before turning to assisted suicide, which was granted to him in just 2 days. Despite wanting to extend his life through treatment, Mr. Quayle sadly went through with assisted suicide. His widow, Kathleen, criticised the circumstances of her husband's death, describing if they had more money, they would have travelled elsewhere for treatment. But this was something they could not afford. A chemistry teacher from London paid £10,000 to a Swiss organisation called Pegasus to purchase his death via lethal injection. Alistair Hamilton did not have any known terminal illness, and his family were unaware of his death in Switzerland. Mr. Hamilton's family were only informed of his death after police services checked his bank account in search for answers. It took a missing person investigation by the Metropolitan Police, the Foreign Office and Interpol to finally reveal what happened to Mr. Hamilton in August 2023. Mr. Hamilton's shocked relatives were forced to wait 2 months to receive his ashes, and his farewell letters and personal belongings are still unaccounted for. Police have criticised the lack of compassion and transparency from the Pegasus Clinic. Mr. Hamilton's family have been left heartbroken, with Mr. Hamilton's brother Toby slamming the clinic as a cowboy operation. Thousands of pro-life men and women and children braved sub-zero temperatures in Washington DC for the National March for Life. The act of public witness was the second since the repeal of Roe v. Wade and marched past the Capitol, concluding at the US Supreme Court. Pro-life Americans heard speeches from high-profile activists and politicians, including Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Kristen Hawkins, president of Students for Life of America, told a somewhat of young activists that the key to victory always lies in those who persist, and that the pro-life movement needs to and will become bolder and louder. From SBC's newsroom, this is Real Time. Thank you for tuning in. If you are enjoying our content, please like, share and subscribe to our channel.